Some practical steps.
Practical steps, be ready for your next promotion. Okay? You don't know when you might get a chance. When I got a chance, captain came up to the bridge and he said, Samath, can you make a load plan? I said, so yes, sir. And you know, okay, chief officer signing off, go make load plan and come. And I went down, made the load plan and I came up. I was ready at that time. Okay? So one, never delay your examinations. As soon as you complete time for your examinations, don't think in terms of making more money and stuff like that. Get your examinations done as soon as possible. Two, always look ahead. Be ready for your next rank. The moment you join as a second mate, you already know a second mate's job. Start learning a chief mate's job. Start doing independent cargo calculations. Start hanging around with him for trimming. Start going along with him, with the surveyor, cargo surveyor and stuff like that. See what happens. See how he fills out the checklist with the foreman. Okay?
Right.
See what work he has assigned the bosun, because this is a very big disconnect. Most of the time, the second mates to a chief officer, okay, the second mates have no clue about paint schemes. After a cadet, it's only
Then-
as a chief officer.
Right.
And paint schemes in today's date have become extremely important. And if you have a dud bosun, God help you.
Right, sir. So, yeah.
One thing
Yes, sir.
again.
Ah.
My first captain.
Yes, please.
You're talking about today's date.
Yes.
My first captain never spoke a word to me during the entire time that he was there on the ship.
Wow.
Not one word.
No comms.
Absolutely not a single word. I would be standing in front of him. He would address the chief officer, tell him to do such and such.
Oof.
Or he would wait for somebody else to walk in and tell him, this is not right. Or tell him, I don't like that.
That's what it was at that time.
Exactly. And I would always say,
Yeah.
good morning, sir. And he
Yeah.
would say,
Wow.
he actually never spoke a word to me.
Yeah. Oh, so how was your first time command, sir, on the ship? Yeah.
Okay, first command,
Yeah.
I was actually ready for command in the sense that I was chief mate for 7 years.
Okay.
Because I got bumped up to chief officer early. Okay? So I was chief mate for a very, very long time. And, interesting story before I got my command. I was first in line for command for over 2 years in my company, and then the company lost the ships. I moved along with the ships to another company. Okay? There's a batchmate of mine who I was slightly senior to, 11 months senior. Okay? When the opportunity for command came, when the slot came, I had 1.5 months in the new company, he had 7 months or 6 months. So even though I was senior, the shot was given to him first.
Okay.
Okay, and we had been together since we were third mates, back
Okay.
and forth on ships and this and that. He was also a thoroughbred self-unloader. I was also and all that kind of stuff. And so I was senior to him, and he got his shot first. At that time, it was a moment of reflection, in the sense that at one side I felt cheated, and the other side I felt like, what do I do about it? Okay. And thankfully, I decided that it's just fate, whatever it is, and I will give him my best help, whatever I can, and sail as his mate.
Right.
All right. So he got the shot at command. I was his chief officer right from he from chief officer got promoted to master, and I joined as chief officer. All right. And he actually never treated me like, hats off to him also. He never treated me like a chief officer, or so to say.
Just a batchmate relation was.
Yes. And I always treated him like a master. All right.
Right.
He would take my advice in everything that he did. So it was our combined knowledge that was going in. The decision was his, the responsibility was his. But he would take my advice in everything. And not interfere with anything I did. All right. So hats off to him. But as luck would have it, 4 months later, I got my shot. So I took over from him when he signed off.
Wow.
That also was not smooth. They could not find a chief officer to relieve me. Then captain, Nand Bhatia came in for 20 days till they could find a chief officer and stuff like that. And I'm always very, very thankful to Captain Bhatia.
Yeah.
I had never sailed with Captain Bhatia before that, but he had heard of me, I had heard of him. And he came up and he said, Samarth, ye mera jahaz nahi hai, ye tera jahaz hai. Mera jahaz Visa Star hai. He was Visa Star master that time. Okay, इधर तेरे को जो करना है कर. मैं सिर्फ चाय बना के तेरे को पिलाऊंगा, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं करूंगा. And that is exactly what he did. For 20 days,
Yeah.
it is not easy for anybody to do. The responsibility is his.
Right.
And he's sitting inside the bridge on the pilot's chair while berthing and berthing while I'm standing out with the pilot.
You're doing the maneuvering and everything.
Yeah. He just let me have a total free hand for 20 days before I got my command. And that actually built up my experience.
Right.
So I'll forever be grateful to him.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So do you think like destiny and all this is a very mixed, like when it has to happen, only then it happens. Like you said, you became a chief mate because certain things. Do you believe in such kind of thing also?
Okay. I
Yeah.
believe part ways things are going to happen because they are meant to happen. Two, do you have, are you ready to identify it and grab it when it comes to you?
Beautiful, sir.
So it doesn't work one way. Yes, destiny is there, but it is shaped by our hands.
Beautiful, sir. Why I asked you this question? Because I knew that there is a rule which will come into place because they...
Opportunities
Yes.
always look bigger when they're going rather than when they're coming in. Rule number 1.
Yes.
जब तक बच्चा नहीं रोता तब तक माँ भी दूध नहीं पिलाती है. Always ask for what you want. That's rule number 1.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful, sir. Like, it's you needed that time. You said it, and we just get inspired from it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, sir. Talking about, sir, Bachcha, you said Bachcha and Ma, sir. How was it when you got married, sir? Like, when you got married, did you still want to continue the same way you wanted to sail, or it changed?
Okay, I got married fairly young.
Okay.
I got married when I was 24.
Okay.
So for 5 years, almost 6 years, my wife joined with me and signed off with me.
Oh, okay. Still okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I mean, she's got 5 years of sick time now.
She's almost like us only then.
Absolutely. Okay. So at that time, I was sailing as chief officer, and it was pretty cool. I had my son on time, which I will say. So that was after 5 years, 6 years of marriage.
Okay.
So my wife would join with me and sign off with me. So I pretty much sailed like I used to before because I wanted to complete time for my masters and stuff.
Right.
And that all happened. And she has been extremely supportive and a pillar of strength. Superwoman.
Right. Please send it to her as soon as we launch it.
Absolutely. No, I really mean that. She's been very, very supportive. She's kept the entire family going together. And our families are actually our strength. Without a solid support structure at home, we cannot do what we do.
Right, sir. Very well put, sir. And when you had your son, sir,
Yeah.
did you still have that same sea time which you were doing before?
No, by that time I had started doing 4 on 4 off when I had my son. Yeah.
Okay. So why? Because many people tell me when like I sail with certain management level also people, they say once you get married or you have a baby, you don't want to come back at sea that often anymore.
You need to strike a balance. And yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, what are you earning for? You're earning for your family.
Right.
If you cannot spend time with them, you've lost those years.